all for coming. My name is Tara Parisi, and I am the FOM Board President.
I'm Melissa Vaccaro. I am the FOM Secretary.
John Roth, I'm the FOM Treasurer this year.
And I'm Kevin Lachman, the Treasurer-elect.
Our Vice President is Erin Wessling. She is not able to be here tonight. And then our member at large is Chris Murray, who will be doing our video tonight. That is our board.
And I don't know if you all know Mr. Beaulieu. And we do have a sign-in. It's being passed around, great. And also obviously pizza and water, and we have some lights or music swag out here, so feel free to help yourself.
Is that great from our perspective?
All right, so I don't know how are all of you freshman parents, or is anyone not freshman parent? Or just get new to the band? What color are? How is?
You want to go around and pick
We don't really have a lot of time. I mean, I would love to. But just even by a show of hands, do we have any color guard parents here, or is everyone band?
no band? No band?
So I'm not sure how much you've heard about FOM. FOMmies is kind of what the kids call us. The Friends of Music. So our goal is to basically support the music staff in the music program. We help with everything from organizing, like you'll see we do like uniform fittings. We help Mr. B and Mr. D with, just kind of keep track of the kids, organizing snacks, doing volunteers. We always need volunteers, which we will talk a lot about in the classes of talking about volunteers. Because we have how many kids, Mr. B? Almost 200?
180.
180. Okay, so 180 kids, 180 kids is a lot, as you can imagine. So we're always, helping with, we help with fundraising and just basically support Mr. B and Mr. D however they need us and however we can. We have a few different ways to get information out that we'll talk about as well. There's the Londonderry Hub where you can go to get all the sign-up information, and I do have some volunteer packets here for anyone who might want to volunteer throughout the year. You do need to have the packet completed, and it is also online that you can follow and print out and get fingerprints and then turn it into the district office. And it does takes a little bit, so if you want to volunteer for band camp in a few weeks, I would do it like tomorrow, just to have a chance. But otherwise, definitely for fall activities and things like that, you want to make sure to get it in, because it has to go to the state and for that, so it does take a little bit of time. I'm assuming if you work for the school, you work for Londonderry School District, then you should be all set. Yeah. And we do also ask that once you go to the district office and turn your packet in, that you email me, the answer from our president, our emails. And just give me a heads up that you just say, hey, it's me, I turned my packet in, because they won't let you know if you've been approved. So I routinely just check in with the district office to say, here's my list, and who's back, who's not, and then I will let you know that that you're all cleared. So that is a big step. It just makes the process go a little bit easier.
I would say if you are already gone through, you signed up a while ago and you're already good with the district, just email as well.
Yeah, because then I can just double check and put you on our approved list. So that just is helpful. So we do have our FOM meetings. We have them in September, October, and January and June, and they're the first Wednesday of the month, except in June because we have a concert on the Common. So our first one is September 3rd, right, at 7. And it's usually in here or in the band room where you probably heard all the kids practicing earlier. So it's a great time to kind of connect with other people and hear about opportunities for volunteering and just get get an idea of what's going on. We're a pretty fun crowd, so it's also fun to come and join. And I do feel like I'm rushing because we have an amazing fundraiser program that we want to make sure we get to, so I'm trying to get everything out. So obviously, if there are any questions when we're done, just reach out, or we'll be around after, so you can just grab them.
All right, Great. So Fawn membership. In order to be a voting member of Friends of Music, you do have to be a member. It's pretty easy. It's on our website, or you could go to the hub. You want to go to our store. It seems silly, but when you go to the store, there's a little drop-down tab. You'll go to Fawn membership. There's different levels. So you can be the baton level, which I believe is $10. There's the Serge renames one. Section leader, which is $30, and then the maestro level, which is $40. If you do the maestro level, your name gets put in all of the programs as like a thank you for being a higher level member. So it's kind of nice, and it all goes back to the kids. It's part of our kind of income for the year. So.
So we handle fundraising, help out fundraising for all the kids throughout the year because some of the trips are expensive and some of their costs can add up. So it's totally optional for anybody who wants to participate in fundraising. You'll hear a lot more about the fundraiser tonight that ends up making a lot of money for our kids. But definitely check our emails. We run things anywhere from Patriots tickets, fundraisers that is going on right now, to mattress fundraisers, mum sales, and these all go directly into the kids' accounts for a portion of the sales that they make. Some of them actually end up being really lucrative, like 95% of the cost goes in. Some of them, like mums, maybe a little bit less because we have to pay for the mums themselves. But kids end up doing very well, and sometimes especially with the mattress fundraisers, end up covering the entire cost of some of our trips. So definitely, if you're looking to get involved with the fundraisers, they can add up really fast for any of the kids.
Have you all heard of the Patriots one we're doing now? Is everyone familiar?
Through, I think, what, the end of
The end of this
July, and
Yeah.
the 31st it
And
runs.
that is a great one because like 95% goes right into the kids' account because the tickets were donated by one of our band families, so it's a great one.
Like I said, and it goes towards trips, band camp, their uniform fees,
banquet.
banquets. So yeah, it goes directly into their account. Cut time, which Joanne will talk about.
What are we going to talk about right now? Yeah. So if you have paid, or you have,
What?
Well, question about fundraising?
no,
Is there a way you see what they have raised so far? Like, how do you?
There is a report that, so Erin, who's not here right now, she runs a report and it shows all the students. So if you have any questions, you can certainly reach out to us if you're wondering.
It'll show up in your cut time account. Yeah.
Oh, eventually.
It just sometimes,
Yeah.
so the biggest thing with fundraisers is keep in mind that it's all volunteer run. So once we finish up a fundraiser, there may be about a week, hopefully less, but about a week before all that kind of gets put into manually by our treasurer into cut time so that you can see what, was raised from that particular fundraiser. So for example, right now, we just have we have the Patriots fundraiser started, but we didn't really finish the Zeffie one, so that's ongoing.
there's two campaigns in Zeffie right now. There's one for band fees. So if anybody's paid or is familiar, there's one for Zeffie for band fees, new and returning. And there's also one for Call Lancers Take on Chicago, or Lancers Take Chicago. So if you want to pay the second deposit for Chicago through Zeffie, you can do that. I have not built the cost in yet to cut time for any more deposits yet for Chicago. I need to do that. That should be available shortly. So, yeah.
Yeah, can I just jump in?
Yeah, absolutely.
Speaking of band fees, so I don't know if you guys all got a chance to read the registration information. It's a lot. So I'll just kind of summarize. The $210 fee is covering all of the accessories that go along with the uniform. So the school supplies, the pant, the jacket, and the shako, which, believe it or not, is $1,000. That's $1,000 worth of material right there. So make sure your kid doesn't lose it. But we keep all the uniforms in house anyway. So except for their shako, they take that. But along with that, there's the shoes, which have gone up in price over the years. the little plume, the feather thing that goes on top of their hat, gloves, the flip folder thing that attaches to their instrument so they can have all their music shrunk down. It's right in front of them. What else? Oh, socks,
The double.
gloves, and it includes a dry cleaning fee. So we clean the uniforms twice a year, once in January and then once at the end of the year or somewhere around January. And so that's all kind of just rolled in, and also includes band camp lunches. So every year, just about all the kids eat the band camp lunch that we get. It's really great stuff. We get goldenrod chicken tenders and La Carreta Mexican taco bar, so it's really great. But if there's a reason why a student doesn't want to eat that, we can just email them. So that's the fee thing, and I just wanted to discuss that real quick.
Yeah, absolutely.
Any questions on that? Once they get past freshman year, all those accessories should be able to carry them through 4 years, unless they grow and they might need new shoes later down the road, but all the other stuff should, as long as they take care of it, should last them 4 years. They don't lose it. They also get a duffel bag.
Yes.
Did you mention that? Yeah.
Do they, when they get the shoes, are they new shoes or
Yep.
are they new shoes?
No, brand new shoes, yeah.
Brand new sparkly white.
Nothing on.
Great question. And so I'll let you finish. up with
Yeah,
that.
no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like as Serge was saying, the 210 is for the new, that covers all of that. The $90 is for returning members, which covers band camp lunches and the dry cleaning fees. What do we want to talk about?
Well, that's
If-
Serge's up next. So
Yeah.
Serge is up.
Yeah, I'll just jump in with a few other things. So the medical information this year, we're using cut time. So you should have gotten an email or message prompting you to go on there and do it. This is my first year using cut time for medical collection. So it's a little funky. I already emailed them my feedback on what I think. It's obviously some people are getting it more than once, and I can't just send it out as a reminder to people that just owe it, so it's kind of weird. So I'll try to just, I'm assuming, has anyone not completed it and potentially not gotten that message? Okay, great.
Is there any confirmation that you get that it was
No,
completed?
and that's another thing.
Yeah. I think my husband did it.
I get it, and luckily I can just export everything to an Excel file and I can get it that way. And then we'll create the medical forms that way. But we do need that stuff. It's great to have. I mean, a majority of it, we don't need it for local travel, but if, they do end up traveling with us on the trip, it's good to have, and it's also just, all around important. At some point, someday, the school, they made a huge advancement a couple years ago where you did your medical stuff for registration for the school. At some point, we will get access to that, and I've heard rumors that it's coming, but it's just never happened. So hopefully someday down the road, you'll all just be able to do a medical form once, and that'll count for every single field trip your kid ever goes on. The other big thing with our schedule and communication, I'm assuming by the fact that you're here, you're getting the cut time notifications. But we also use Sports U as a quick kind of tool to communicate out to the students, so and parents as well. So you're more than welcome to join that. That was in that summer registration information, and there's you download the app and just type in the code and you're in. And then the other big thing is during the summer we're kind of getting ready for band camp. Once we get to band camp, that's kind of our big week to get the kids ready for the halftime show. And just crossing our fingers. Last year was another the hottest week of the summer. So we try to do our best to get outside a little bit, bring them inside, get them cooled down, go out a little bit. But we want to try to make the best use out of that week because it's really only 4 days that we have the whole band together and we can learn the movements on the field all in one shot. It's not pretty, we just kind of teach it to them as quickly as possible and get through it. And then after that, we continue with Thursday night rehearsals because that's, again, the one time that we have them during the school day, but they're in 3 different band periods because they're so big. So we have them spread out into 3 different band periods. We can't go outside and practice the routine because we're missing 2/3 of the band. for each period. So we have to do that on Thursday night. And, you know, like I said, hopefully you've gotten the message that we're super flexible with that. We understand there's always going to be a conflict here or there, you know, sports, other activities that are potentially important, college and that type of stuff. There's a college fair every year. So sometimes those things conflict. It's fine. We always just ask that the students or parent go to band.londonderry.org. That's the hub. Okay, if you have your phone and you haven't found that yet, go ahead and take it out. Find your favorite browser and just type in band.londonderry.org. And that hub just has some key, really important things that we use often. The calendar, the absent form, so if they're going to be absent or late, we'd just like to know. And you know, some other things. There's a volunteer tab. There's the trip information is going to be there and updated as we come up with updates. And no, Smugma's not.
No, but the merchandise, like I was talking about, from like firmware and the membership is on there.
Yeah. So, if you're ever at a loss and you're looking for information, just go to band.londonderry.org. Oh, announcements too. So anytime I send out an email, I try to remember it and copy it over to that as well, so it's right there. So if you're looking for something, I know Mr. B sent out information about the parade coming up. Just go to, and you can't find the email, which is, you know, typical, just go to band.londonderry.org and it should be in the announcement section. Okay. Speaking of which, parade, you know, I'm never a fan of it, but our first parade is the Londonderry Old Homes Day Parade. It's tough, you know, we're not ready, certainly not, you know, in our best shape, but we just go out there and we just do it. The upperclassmen kind of carry the band because they know we play same parade tune songs that we did last year. So kind of makes it easy. So if the freshmen don't know the music, they can just kind of fake it, you know, and you know, and they can just march as best as they can and look great and they'll be fine. And then the following Saturday we do Allenstown Old Homes Day Parade, same thing. And they're both at 10 a.m., which is good. Hopefully it's not too hot by that point. You know, and if it rains for most of those events, most outdoor marching events, we usually cancel. I mean, if it's iffy, we're not sure, but you know, we can't risk taking the uniforms out. Their instruments get damaged. A lot of people kind of don't understand that those woodwind instruments are made with pads that a lot of times have felt. So the minute water comes in contact with that felt, it just blows up. So that ruins the instrument, and you're talking hundreds of dollars of repairs. So we kind of can't go down that road. The drums can get damaged, and you know, so. But yeah, those are the big things I have for now. I'll jump in as we go along.
Allenstown Parade, they love us. Like, they love.
What, Allenstown?
Allenstown.
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah, the
It's-
people are.
I think we are like the whole parade. Like it's really, it's cool. And to hear like just everyone thanking us for coming again, thank you for coming back. Like it's kind of a great experience for the kids too, who are just starting to get into the groove and to hear people like just clapping and cheering and being so happy when they're marching. It's real cool.
Yeah, if you ever get a chance to, if you want to chaperone one of the parades, like Tara said, you got to get background checked first. But once that happens, you march in the back behind the band, and you get the privilege of getting all the comments.
Yeah.
You know, that band was great. Oh my God, they're awesome. I'm up the front, and I hear comments like, "Here comes that band. They're amazing." Sometimes I'll hear, "They go to the Rose Bowl every year." Or they go to London every year. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we're going to London every year. That's
I wish.
yeah.
Just ask, you had mentioned that there's information through cut time and then also through Sports U. Is it the same information or do you
Yeah.
need to have both?
Well,
or-
sometimes if it's a really important, like if we're canceling out of something, I want like to just blast it out everywhere.
Yeah.
But I try to keep the sports use messages just like short little things. Mainly, a lot of times for the students, like, "Hey, rehearsal tonight, don't forget." Type of thing. But if it's more detailed, like information that you guys need to know, perhaps the trip updates and that kind of thing, I'll send it out on cut time. You know, so it's
But sport two is where you say like when we'll be back, like
Yeah.
we'll be arriving back at Londonderry High at 8 o'clock or whatever for my trips.
I try to do both. I mean, sometimes I feel obligated to do both because I feel like cut time gets the message out to student cell phones and parent cell phones. Whereas I think sports U is great, it's school approved and everything like that, but sometimes, you know, you get everything up in your lock screen and it's like, sometimes you miss it. So I feel like, yeah, it helps out.
If your kids are in any sports or any kind of activities in any of the schools, you probably are familiar with Sport U. Because, yeah. Between cheer and lacrosse and field hockey and band and, yeah. So.
So, yeah, so volunteering opportunities, as we said, and I do have a couple packets here, but it would be like football games. I think we only have one away football game this year, which is kind of cool. So a lot of them, most of them are home, but parades
And seeing that.
and the Salem Band Show.
I'm sure we'll have some playoff games.
Hopefully we do this year, yeah.
But it can be anywhere from, chaperoning, being a bus chaperone, to helping load the truck. We have a truck crew that's always looking for extra help. And, if you're not able to, that's totally understandable. There are other ways to help. We have like an Amazon wish list, because as you can imagine, like if you think how much your teenager eats, times that by 180. So we're always looking for donations for snacks and water and things. We'll go to Allenstown and bring like a huge tub of snacks, like just to go half hour straight. And water.
Usually 4 of those because
4 of those.
each bus has a bucket.
So, right.
It's a lot of food.
So, that I know, like when I have, my oldest is 20 and my youngest is a senior, but when I had a little one, I couldn't always volunteer because it was easy to volunteer if you have a little one. So it can be, there are other ways to help support the band for sure. And even for volunteering, if you see the time slot for like band camp or something is like 12 to 2 and you can come from 12 to 1, come on in. That's fine. We will take any and all help at any time.
Band camp is definitely an event. It's 4 days. It's 9 to 4 every day.
Yep.
And it's checking in students in the morning, lunches. We have the I don't even know what they call it out there. The concession stand out there, the snack shack. We're out there, literally like first thing in the morning, getting snacks ready, getting drinks ready. When morning breaks over, we're getting ready for lunch. So there's always a need for
Because
folks.
otherwise it's us. That's a lot. It's certainly a lot.
We're also
And
always.
you don't have to do it all either.
No.
You can just come in the morning and help out, that's great. You can come in the afternoon.
Also looking for like people who like photography or like videoing.
Yes.
Kevin is usually our main guy for that, but we're always looking for people who just want to have fun with the camera, especially at band camp. You can just go out for like an hour or so, walk around, take candids of the kids, because then we upload those all to SmugMug, and then you guys get to enjoy them and look at them and kind of see.
You don't need any experience whatsoever, just point, shoot.
Your cell phone would
It's,
work.
yeah.
No, I was thinking about the volunteer page. So,
Good job,
because I went.
Yeah, we have to update that.
Okay,
one,
because
but
I
if you
went in
go
and
on-
volunteered for, in August,
Yep.
and I picked like 3 spots.
Oh, perfect.
But then I went to volunteer some more, and I can't get
So if you
back
go,
in.
that one has to get updated, but if you go to our actual website, theanswermusic.org, and go to the,
That's where I went, that's what it said.
and that's what it says.
Yeah,
Dear, that's not good.
yeah, Lancer Band.
All right, we'll have to look at it.
Yeah,
And not, that's
Oh,
the
not that
hub.
one?
So if you go to our actual website, which is lancermusic.org,
okay.
there is a drop down where you go into volunteer,
Like,
and they
going
should be
that way.
all listed, and you can go into any of those. But we'll take a peek at the hub and try to get that reconnected.
We also put them on the, there's a parent band page if you're on Facebook.
Yeah, if you open up the events menu and then hit volunteer, it should show up with a volunteer.
On the Lancers page,
On the Lancer Music
Okay.
page, yeah. Then there's a whole bunch of stuff here.
great, thank you. I couldn't get back in, I was like, well.
Yeah, there's like a
They
little
don't want-
hamburger in the corner.
Oh, no,
and then-
Oh,
We always want help.
Yeah, a little hamburger. But yeah, so for photography, video, so you don't have any experience whatsoever. I know it sounds intimidating because like, oh, I don't want to do video, but literally it's just point, shoot, and keeping people in frame, or just having fun with it. There's really no wrong way to do it.
Same, same for uniform fittings. You don't have to know how to sew or anything. It's, we will show you what to do. It's really just making sure kids' jacket, they have the right jacket that fits and pants that fit and all that.
Football games, most of it is keeping track of the kids a little bit, helping them if you can, and just helping move equipment around, helping with some of the setup. I started with doing football games, had no idea what I was doing. I'm like, where do you need this speaker or this stand or whatnot? And somebody just points, says, okay, put it over there. And there's so many people around to help guide where things go, so it becomes very easy. The team here all makes it very easy. So
My first year volunteering with the band, I did I think 2 days of check-in at band camp, and that was it. I'd go to the games, but I wasn't working with the band. I was just going to watch the halftime show, and then it becomes kind of I don't know, kind of addictive. It's fun. It's really fun. The next year was a little bit more band camp, and by the third year, it was like I was there all week.
I think what's fun is you get to see your kids kind of in their element without them really noticing you. They don't notice you, I promise. They don't want to notice you. But it's nice to see them kind of integrate into this amazing program. So it's fun to be a part of.
And I like chaperoning because if I go to an event, I don't have time parking for myself anymore. So
Well, that's a good point.
That is a great one, yeah.
Get dropped off at the front.
That is fun.
All right, I think finances is
Yeah. We don't have a lot of time left, though.
go for it.
If you are sending in a check, I actually got a few tonight. If you can make sure that your student's name is on the check, that helps because there's a lot of just making sure that I know who it's going to. Any cash payments need to be delivered directly to Mr. B by a parent. Students can't bring it in. Students can bring in a check. They can leave those. There's a
Everything box.
there's a slot.
It's actually a drop slot.
Yeah, there's a drop slot in the farm room that from the band room they can drop it through. I got one tonight. Goes into a basket, or if they drop them by, there's a folder in Mr. Beaulieu's office for checks or any kind of correspondence. So, and then cut time. I don't know if we're going to have time to do a demo. And does anybody have any questions on cut time? You get.
Has everyone been able to get into cut
I
time?
think everybody's probably been able to get. And if you had, you've probably talked to me at some point via email or.
Right.
Sorry, I probably need to just talk to one of you guys afterwards, because I haven't gotten anything in the past 4 weeks. I had an issue, and then
Okay.
you guys fixed it, and now, fortunately, my friend told me about tonight, but I haven't gotten a signal.
Did you just send an email?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. We're on it. Yeah.
I don't know what, I have an inactivated, so it's probably a person.
Okay.
I just want to make sure you know.
So I'll just jump in on real quick on, with payments, it's kind of complicated, but we're trying to help you out. So you can pay online using cut time. However, they charge you 3% or 4%, whatever it is, for credit card charge.
Yeah.
So we found that using Zeffy is nice because it's fee-free. They ask for a donation at the end, which you can choose to leave or not. And then you can send in, like John said, send in checks. So there's kind of 3 ways to pay. Cash, if you're going to do that, just contact me and we'll work out a meetup point. So I just don't want students walking in with $650 worth of cash. And hopefully they won't need any of that because you'll be doing fundraising. Fundraiser coming up.
Excuse me, if they are fundraising, you mentioned that the credit will appear on cut time eventually.
Eventually, yeah.
Yeah, where would that be under?
It would, if you go financials, yeah. It wouldn't be there yet, but that's why I wasn't sure. If you have family who are like, oh, I bought 10 raffle tickets, you're not gonna see that reflected in the account yet until.
Yeah, it says payments, events, signatures, and stuff like that, so I didn't know.
If you pay by a Zeffy is, I have to manually add the cost into cut time.
Yeah.
But I check that.
It would be under financials, I think, a payment, it might
It's
be.
under payment.
Yeah, payments, yeah, because I do see it says manual payment Zeffy.
I get a notification when somebody makes a payment in Zeffy, and I just go in and look at it, and I know who the student is, and I just go and apply the cost. So that stuff is within, a very short window of time. If you pay it, it's in cut time. Whereas with the fundraising, like Serge said, could be, once we get everything. I feel like it.
And you've been pretty good about getting the information from Zephy over cut time
Yeah.
recently, so.
Yeah, but like the fundraising stuff will be like a week, maybe 10 days of, before we get all the final costs, and then we put everything in, like in a bulk by student, like whatever their credit is, we put that in there, so that
It
could
rolls
be.
over every year.
We roll the cost over every year, but it's like for every fundraiser, whatever they make from that fundraiser, we put in, like as soon as we have the final numbers, it goes in. Like I said, if there's any questions, email, call.
And just a little quick side note, for the Patriots fundraiser, if you're having people, sending it out, please really reinforce that they put your student's name under additional information. Because we've had a lot of people write like, have fun, or congratulations or something, and then we don't know who it goes to. So Erin, we're gonna have to be reaching out. So if you also, when all of this gets posted, if you feel like the numbers are off, like, oh, grandma said she bought so many tickets and you don't see it, definitely reach out to us, because we do already have a list of people where we don't know whose student it's supposed to be for. So that's just a reminder.
Yeah, a couple key points about fundraising. I don't know if you mentioned it, but the money, almost, I can't even think of a fundraiser that doesn't go directly to your child's account. And so we try to gear all our fundraisers towards that, especially the mattress one. And then, it does roll over to the next year until all the way through the senior year. So if they don't use the money this year, for whatever reason, it'll carry over to next year and the year after. And then if you have any other siblings coming up, we'll make sure to look up for that and keep it. We have a record of that. We can always roll it over. The one thing you can't do with fundraising is obviously cash out, at some point. So we can't just cut you a check for that money.
I'm on my third child in the band, so.
Yeah. 2 more to go.
Every little bit helps.
Two in here right now, one graduating in 28 and one graduating in 30, so she's a freshman, it's her first year, and she's excited, freaking out, kind of all of this stuff all at once. But, she's seen her 2 big sisters go through it, and she's been to a bunch of games and parades, and band camp last year she helped out, so she's ready.
So I know we're gonna wrap up here, but just real quick, we've had a few practices. Any questions? Like, how are the kids doing? Band camp can be intense. I don't know if they've been hearing stories or feeling nervous. Is everything going well? Okay, good.
Cool, that's awesome. That's. Band camp is August 10th to the 13th.
And it's definitely a bonding. It's definitely a bonding experience for the kids. In a lot of good ways and a lot of hot ways, but I feel like I say this every meeting, but just really reinforce to your students, like if they're feeling nervous or they're like, I don't know the music, I don't know this, have them go to their section leader, their upperclassmen. They're gonna help. Like the band, the kids are really great. Like knock on wood, we don't have a lot of behavior issues. Like it's really a pretty really a great supportive environment. And the upperclassmen have been there, they know, and they're like, don't worry, let's do this, try this. And they're really, really supportive. So if your kid is feeling nervous and is like, I can't go to the parade, I don't know the music, just send them, tell them, talk to their section, talk to the section leader, and, obviously talk to Mr. V or Mr. B, but also FOM, we also can help support kids. Which also, I want to mention,
No. Okay. Just a quick note, when my husband was a freshman for the first year during band camp, towards the end of the week, the section leaders will create a party for the kids in that section to all go to a kid's house. And I was like, nah, you're not going to some kid's house. Like, what are you talking about? You're only a freshman. But yes, they do. They will get the kids all together. They usually will create a section shirt that they wear on their last day of band camp. So it is a real thing. So if they want to go to some kid's house, and go swimming, and they do food and make these shirts. It is a real thing.
And it's really fun. The sections really bond together. Like a lot of them do. It's really you'll see, but it's really it's cool.
And for any kids who are feeling nervous about band camps in particular, if you find our YouTube channel, there are some cool videos from last year's band camp that we've got seniors that are explaining what to expect for the freshmen, and they do an awesome job doing little pep talks and do's, don'ts, expectations, and just shows a little bit about what to expect for each of the kids in band camp. So
That's cool. I didn't know about that. I'll have to find that.
Right?
Yeah. Also, I was gonna say they do theme days, and
They
the
get
kids get into it.
Yeah.
Like if it's first day is like superhero day, kids are showing up with costumes like it'll be like 90 degrees out. What are you doing? Wearing a
Yeah, if
Batman
you go back
costume.
through our smoke mug too, you'll see some pictures. The kids have a good time with it, so it's fun.
I was gonna say one other thing about band camp is oh shoot, no, I forgot.
Water bottles. Water
Yeah, bring
bottles.
water.
Have them have
Some
a
kids will
water
bring
bottle.
hydration packs. They can wear it and drink water throughout the time they're out there. They're great.
And please label their water bottles. We always clean up the field and have at least one random water bottle.
There's always water on the field, there's always water in the concession stand. Last year, we had a cooling tent,
2 school weekends.
Yeah.
2 cooling tents, which was
Awesome.
really awesome, and really needed, because last year was hot. Yeah, last year.
It was in the 90s all week.
I remembered what I wanted to say. So for all of our events, the students get dressed. We don't have like a locker room, like over in the gym. They all get dressed in the hallway, but by getting dressed, they're not, stripping down to, their underwear and then getting dressed. They literally come in with something to wear under their uniform. In fact, they really should be wearing some kind of t-shirt, not a tank top. We don't want the uniform to get pit stains. So the warmer weather parades or events, they can wear gym shorts, and a t-shirt. As it gets colder, they start wearing thermals or long pants or sweatpants underneath, sweatshirt, that type of thing. But they literally just put their jacket, and as they're getting fitted right now, some of the kids, especially the girls, want like a nice tight fitting uniform, and the uniform parents know well enough to oversize it a little bit because it'll be cold enough soon enough, and they'll be wearing layers underneath their uniform. So, but they literally just throw the uniform on top of something. So they're not getting. If you hear they're getting changed in the hallway, it's not literally changing. Except for color guard, I think they have to do a little bit, but they go to the bathroom.
Yes.
And with uniforms too, also, and we will tell the kids this, but like hot chocolate spills happen, buttons fall off, like things happen. Just come to us, like it's really important that they just come to us. Like we're not gonna be mad, we're gonna be more upset if it sat there for 2 weeks and we didn't have it. But we're always, fixing buttons and, we have.
We have stock
We
here.
got sew
Show
kits, we
show
got
lights,
show lights,
yeah. So,
we all know how to sew buttons on,
right.
some better than others, but
So just making sure that they know they can, just let us know, like
Just tell them,
something.
go to the farm room.
Go to the farm room, yell at the farm. It's fine.
We all know what it is.
Do you guys have any questions before we wrap up?
Any big trips in the next 3 years coming up on the horizon? I keep hearing Italy.
Chicago for this year.
Yeah, we don't.
know beyond that.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Well, we know for sure there won't be anything over February or April vacation.
No, not this year. Yeah, we try to keep it to 1 trip a year.
Yeah, this usually is the year that we do New York,
Yeah.
St. Patrick's Day in March, but we had this opportunity for Chicago. It was, very cool, really, yeah. So,
We have some fun parades, so like Exeter, right, we do Exeter and the.
we're doing that
Oh,
again this year, yeah.
That's a fun nighttime parade where the kids get to deck themselves out with lights and whatnot with the holidays. That's a cool thing.
Yeah, we did it, what,
2 years ago.
2 years ago for the first time, and it's a Saturday night. It was awesome. It was really well received by the folks in Exeter, and the kids had a blast.
Any other questions?
Piggybacking off what you said, like, do you generally know going into the school year what the trip will be for the full year? Like, Chicago.
Yeah, we try to get information out at least a year in advance to give the families time to fundraise and start preparing. So, yeah.
Yeah, this
You
is
gonna
a
give us
shorter-
nothing, huh? Nothing.
How much marching will there be post Chicago? Is there anything in like December, January, February?
So we have the Exeter Parade in December. Is there anything else in December?
And we normally do some other holiday parades, Londonderry, but
Yeah.
in Chicago. But
We have Havel.
yeah, so last year we tried to do the UMass Lowell hockey game. And that was going to be our second time doing it. The first year we did it, kids had a blast. We did a great job. It got snowed out. We rescheduled it a couple weeks later. It got snowed out, and then we tried to reschedule it a third time. That one wasn't guaranteed because it was going to be a playoff game. We weren't sure if they were going to be in or not. They didn't get in, so we ended up canceling out. But yeah, so there's that. We may do. We usually do the Manchester St. Patrick's Day Parade. I'm not sure what's going to happen with that. It got canceled last year. Like, they canceled it months in advance. And then
The
Memorial Day Parade. Yeah. So it kind of winds down once we get past the marching season. I mean, the fall.
Any other questions? Are you gonna introduce?
Yeah. So, we got some more information about the mattress sale. I mean, I always like to say it is simple, but they will definitely give you some more information. I think that will help you succeed in getting your child potentially to get some people. But basically, it's as simple as just getting the information out to your family members, friends, coworkers, anybody. Don't think, oh, I know so-and-so needs it bad. Just send it out to people and say, hey, if you're thinking about getting a mattress, a lot of people will scratch their head and be like, oh, my mattress is old. I think I do need a new one. So, but I'll let Drew, this is Drew Hammett from CFS, and we also have Michael Logue in the back, and they're here to talk to you more about the Mattress Fundraiser.
Awesome. Before I get started, quick round of applause for these guys. There's a lot of work. I work with probably about 40 to 50 different bands every year, and these guys are not only one of the biggest programs to work with, but they also really do a lot to provide some good experiences. So definitely make sure you support them as best you can, take advantage of some of those volunteer opportunities. But I appreciate you guys being here. I know on a nice summer evening, there's probably plenty of other places you'd rather be than a hot band room for an informational meeting. So I appreciate you guys spending some time with us tonight. For those of you who haven't met us before, my name's Drew Hammond. Again, Michael Logue. We are probably better known as the Mattress Guys throughout most of the band programs in Maine and New Hampshire. And what we do is a one-day fundraiser where the majority of our programs will typically raise anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000, even up to $20,000. Now, there's no door-to-door selling, there's no order forms, there's no money to collect. You are not responsible for delivering mattresses and pillows and sheets all over town the way you do with cookie dough and candles and all those other product-based fundraisers. And ultimately, you're selling something that has a lot of value. In the 15 years we've been around, we've never had anybody come in and be like, well, I don't really need one of these, but I'll buy it just to help you out. So your community really does love this event because it gives them an opportunity to solve a need for themselves and purchase something that they were going to go buy anyways, and makes it really, really easy for you guys to raise the money you need without having to peddle stuff that really, at the end of the day, doesn't have as much value. One of the biggest things about us is we've been around since about 2005 nationally. We work with about 3,000 schools across the U.S. every year. Here in Maine and New Hampshire, I work with about 40 to 50 different programs, majority of those being music programs. And it's one of those things where, as weird as a mattress fundraiser might sound, and I will never stand in front of a group of people who are hearing about this for the first time and pretend like it's not a little strange, but it works. Since we started doing these fundraisers across the country, we've now raised over $75 million as a company, and about $2.5 million here in Maine and New Hampshire. You guys here in Londonderry are our top earning program. This will be your 10th annual fundraiser coming up this fall. I mean, 9 days worth of fundraising so far. You guys have raised over $125,000 with this program. This is a huge amount of money that you guys can earn, and as Serge and the rest of the FOM said, this is money that goes directly to your students' account. And I'll talk a little bit more specifically about the benefit you have in participation with this event, but if you look back through the years of doing this event, we used to sell 99 beds, which brought in over $17,000, 98 mattresses sold from 57 families. So if you look through this list, one of the greatest things about this is you don't have to buy something if you don't need it, right? With all those other fundraisers, cookie dough, candy bars, all that stuff, you're just asking someone, hey, do you got an extra $20 to help out the program? This fundraiser solves a need for those people, and even if it isn't you personally who's in the market for a new mattress this year, all of you know somebody who is going to go to the box stores and replace one. And if that wasn't true, these numbers wouldn't exist. And so ultimately your job is not to just come in and purchase something on September 12th, is to help us find those people in your community, in your network of friends and family who are ultimately going to go buy a mattress. And tonight we're going to talk about a little bit more about how this whole event works. I'll convince you guys a bit more about why it works and some of the stats that we know exist about the amount of people that actually do shop for mattresses. And most importantly, we're going to share with you a couple things that we need from you guys to make sure that we have another huge, huge event. Now, as great as this all sounds, as easy as we make it, as much as you guys have raised, especially where most of you are new to this program, this is a face I expect to see a lot of the times when you tell someone, hey, we're doing a mattress sale. Quick show of hands, how many of you guys think this is a really strange way for your kids to raise money? All right, good. I don't have that much convincing to do tonight. I want you to raise your hand for me again if you happen to sleep on a mattress. Raise your hand if you know someone who's sleeping on a mattress. So that's why this event works. Every year, whether you know it or not, because your bedroom furniture typically doesn't come up in everyday conversation, in a town of about 20,000 or 27,000 people, we statistically know there's about 10% of people, every 1 in 10 people, will go out and replace a mattress. Whether it's the main bedroom's got a divot in it that's been there for the last 3 years, whether it's the kids are sleeping on a bed that's older than they are, whether your guest room mattress is a family heirloom that gets passed down when everybody moves or generation to generation, whatever the reason, the mattress stores in town wouldn't exist if there wasn't actually a market. And so your job, again, is not to necessarily just come in and buy one to help out the fundraiser, but is ultimately to find those people in your network, if it isn't you personally, who are planning on replacing a mattress anyways. Now I'm going to ask you guys to raise your hand for me one more time. This is a somewhat smaller crowd. But I'm not going to memorize your faces and be on the lookout for you on the day of the sale. I just want you to be honest with me for 1 minute. Raise your hand if you have a mattress in your house right now that could probably be replaced. So out of the 20-ish in this room, 5 of you just raised your hand. Apply that to the 27,000 people in this district. Apply that to the dozens of people that you communicate and talk to. Apply that to the hundreds of people that you're probably friends with and interact with on social media. I know it's an awkward conversation to be like, hey, Mary, how's your mattress doing, right? It's not a common conversation. But if that conversation didn't lead to people actually saying, actually, you know what, we do need a new one, send me the info, I'd love to have up the band, we wouldn't have the reputation and the results that we do. So at the end of this whole event, really what we need from you guys is to participate. And if it isn't you personally who needs a new mattress this year, we just need you to embrace that little bit of awkward conversation, do the things we ask over the next few weeks to promote this event, and make this something that everyone in town hears about, and I promise you, you will find those people to come check out the sale. Now, if you've never been into the event or really never gotten some of the info, no, this is not a used mattress sale. This is not a mattress drive where you just drop off your old one and somehow we give the kids thousands of dollars. The only real difference between shopping at a mattress fundraiser and shopping at your local box store is the fact that you're in a school. We have about 35 different beds on display. So on Saturday, September 12th, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., we will transform the cafeteria into a professional mattress showroom. We've got close to 40 beds on display from brands like Purple, Helix, Therapeutic, Eclipse, Harvest. So these are not like Drew Hammond knockoff brand beds. These are all the same styles, constructions, technologies you'd find in the box stores. But what's great about this from a consumer standpoint is you can get all the same stuff at a discounted price, because in all reality, we don't have a lot of costs to run this event. We don't have a retail store, we don't have an online website, we only really sell this product here at the schools, and you guys become our marketing and advertising team. So from someone who's going to go out and purchase a mattress anyways, when you can get all the same brands, all the same styles, in most cases the exact same model you'd go find at Mattress Firm or Jordan's at a discounted price, and it helps out your student in their program, most people, if they're already planning on making that purchase, will come check this out. And about 90% of the people who walk through the showroom doors on September 12th will make a purchase. They are not there for car parts or new shoes. They need a mattress, and they want to support your program. Now, we have the guaranteed lowest prices. Again, all the beds will carry some sort of discount on retail. Our prices will range anywhere from $300 to $400 in like kind of your lower end twin kids bed type of deal, all the way up to your $7,000 to $8,000 luxury sets and everything in between. We have adjustable bases, we have pillows, we have sheets, we have really everything you would find at the box stores. We're just selling it in kind of a weird location that most people haven't shopped for furniture before. Now, we do have delivery options. This is one of the biggest questions that we get is, okay, well, how do I get the new bed home? So you are not really taking anything with you that day, aside from maybe pillows, sheets, mattress protectors, that type of thing. But you'll come into the sale, customers will lay on the beds. One of the other big questions we get is like, are the kids selling anything? And that would be really fun to watch a 13-year-old, 14-year-old try and sell mattresses for the day. But ultimately, we take care of all the staffing. And when people come into the showroom, we'll walk them around, explain the differences, help them find what they're looking for. They'll place that order, and then that order gets submitted directly to the factory. And about 3 to 4 weeks after the sale is when you will get your mattress. Now, we have some options that can be shipped direct to the house. A lot of the industry now has the option to what they call roll pack, which means it just ships to the house. FedEx, UPS will drop it off, kind of that bed in a box model that you've probably seen. But we also do have delivery options. So if you want us to come in, do all the setup, get the bed upstairs, if you need the old mattress removed, all of those services available for us as well. And that usually takes place about 3 to 4 weeks after the sale. So don't have your uncle rent a U-Haul and like come to the school and think they're grabbing stuff off the floor. They'll come in, they'll pick the bed they want, we'll place the order for them, and then once the beds come in, it will either ship out or we'll deliver it for them from there. We also have some financing options, especially over the last year and a half or so where the economy's been a little bit tight. We've worked really hard to offer some really flexible payment plans to make this an easier purchase for people. Now again, we've got great pricing, we've got great discounts on a lot of the beds that you'll find. We guarantee the lowest price on those specific models. But for those people who do want to spread the payment out, or maybe find a bed that's a little out of what they have in their back pocket that day, we've got some really easy monthly payment plans. And as you can see from the chart, even up to a $5,000, $6,000 mattress, which is a very luxurious bed at that point, your payments are still going to be between $150 and $200 a month. So we take cash, check, credit, or whatever you guys want to use for payment, but we also offer these really flexible payment plans that, again, make this an easier purchase, however those customers want to make that purchase from there. So a good blanket statement that I like to use with this, since I know you're not going to remember every little detail, is shopping at the mattress sale really is just like shopping at the box stores. You just happen to be inside of a school instead of the actual box store. That is really the only difference when people come in. Now the key to this is what we call personal referrals. And typically what we see is you're going to fall into one of two categories. Now you're either going to be someone, a parent in the program or a relative of a student who does in fact need a new mattress, and you'll come into the sale, you'll save some money on something you were already going to buy or need anyways, and you get to feel good about that purchase because it helps out a great cause. So if you are someone who needs a mattress, we look to see you on September 12th. We'll make sure you guys have an awesome experience buying a new mattress. But the majority of you are probably going to fall into column 2. And this is, I think, the biggest mistake that people make is they think about this fundraiser like cookie dough or candles or that gift card raffle where it's like, okay, I'll just throw $25 and I did my part. If you don't need a new mattress, you are still just as effective in helping us reach our goal as someone who's coming in to spend money. And what we need from you is to, again, embrace that awkward conversation. Talk about it. Send out text messages. Share stuff on social media. However you interact with the people in your network, if you bring this up, you will find people who say, yeah, actually, you know what? We were thinking about this last year. We'll come in and check out this sale. And again, if that wasn't the case, if there weren't people who were taking you up on those offers, we would have never sold 90 beds, 80 beds. We would not be able to write the checks we do to programs like yours. And so if you're someone who doesn't need a mattress, we just need all of you to try and find at least one person who does. And again, out of the dozens of people you interact with, I guarantee there is someone out there who is waiting for that final motivating reason to finally go replace a bed. This fundraiser, saving some money, supporting your kids in their band program, that is ultimately what drives them to the sale. Now, last year, we sold 27 mattresses. We wrote a check to your program for $6,200. We had 22 personal referrals from 15 families. On the surface, there's probably not a whole lot wrong with that picture. Raising over $6,000 in one day, it's a pretty big fundraiser. What I look at, especially as we go year to year with this event, that was 8% of the program. 8% of your program raised over $6,000. So imagine what happens when that number from 15 families goes to 30 families, 40 families. And if you look back, and I'll show you in a slide in a second, you guys have had some of your biggest years with still less than half the program involved. So this is a huge, huge opportunity for you as families to not only support the band program as a whole, but to also raise a ton of money when it comes to these actual events and these trips. So for example, let's say Kyle's in the band and he's going to Chicago this year, and Kyle and his mom come in and replace the full-size mattress that Kyle's been sleeping on since he was like 3 years old. There's $100 towards Kyle's account for that full size being sold. We do not pay you based on a ticket amount or a percentage of sales. We pay you based on the size of each bed and then volume of total beds sold throughout the day. What's great about this is that there's no pressure for people to spend more money, and all the beds are more or less paid out equally. So this gives you a huge opportunity to raise a lot of money, hundreds and hundreds of dollars, just by finding people, again, who are going to go make this purchase anyways. And so let's say you put a yard sign in your yard, you're talking with your neighbor, and they're like, actually, we could use a new bed. And so Kyle's neighbor comes in, and they buy a new king-size purple Rejuvenate. That $200 payout, right to Kyle's account. And then Grandma bought a mattress from the fundraiser last year, and this year decided, she's had some sleep apnea, some lower back issues, she's reading in bed a lot more, so she wants to add one of those power adjustable bases. There's another $75 into Kyle's account. So in this one example, Kyle has now raised close to $400 towards his overall trip. And if it's not the trip, it can be band uniforms, band costs, any of the other out-of-pocket costs that you guys incur throughout the year. This money generally goes directly to that account, and that money's sitting there rather than having come out of your pocket. Now, these three screenshots here, I'll step out of the way. These are actual totals that students in this program over the last few years have earned. And if you look, we've got, $805, $485, $480, $325, $200, $250, $450, $455. A couple years ago, we had a student make over $1,000 with this one event. So this is not $10, $15, $20. That's a lot of cookie dough you guys would have to sell to put that type of money into your student's account. And especially one of the things that, Fawn had mentioned with when we were talking earlier is you guys don't have as much lead time this year, where the trip is in November. Normally you've got maybe 5 or 6 other fundraisers to kind of utilize. You're not going to have as many of those fundraisers available before November. So this is a huge opportunity for you to shave off literally hundreds, if not the entire trip cost, by finding those people to come in and support your students. And so again, if it's not you personally who needs one, all you got to do is find those people who do. And every single one of those purchases, and I'll talk about those flyers, which is how we'll keep track of that in a second, that is what we will use to make sure your student gets credit. We'll send a report to FOM after the sale, which has all the student totals like you just see, and then that will show up in cut time and be available from there. So this, again, is a really, really important aspect of the sale. As much as Michael and I and the FOM and Serge will do behind the scenes, 80% of the sales that we see are going to come from referrals, which is why your involvement, your participation is so, so important. If I could just throw a couple social media posts out, put yard signs in front of the school, and 85 people show up, that would be fantastic. But we can only count on maybe 10, 15 sales at most from like the general public. The rest of what we see is going to come from what you guys do and how you promote the event. And so over the next couple weeks, we're going to arm you guys with pretty much all the tools you need to promote this event. The blue flyers you have on your seats, that's kind of the golden ticket to make sure your student gets credit. And I left some pens out as well. So over the next 30, 60 seconds, what I'd like everyone to do is on the very bottom of those flyers, on the front side, you'll see a section that says student name for credit here. Write your student's name on it, snap a photo, and before you leave this room, either post it to your Facebook, text it to 5 people, and I guarantee if all of you do that, by the time I get home to Maine tonight, one of you will have found somebody to come in and support the sale. This is not a lot of time that we're asking you to put into it. I'm a parent. I've got 2 kids. They do all sorts of fundraising. I know that fundraising is not anybody's favorite part of the gig, but it's one of those necessary evils that makes a big impact on what your kids get to do. And so over the next few weeks, those flyers, put them out there through text message, put them out at work, interact with people. We have some posters here that you can put up at the library, town hall, places like that. But what we really need from you guys is word of mouth. Most people in town, if we do a good job and we make this event loud enough, most people in town are going to hear about it. Especially after a decade of doing this event, the community knows about this event. They've seen the signs, they've gotten the mailers, they've heard about it through the school newsletters and whatnot. And the reason this works annually is there's always new people who maybe didn't need a bed a couple years ago who happen to need one now. And so all these different ways that we promote, however it is you interact, we will provide you with that content to share. We just need you guys to actually have an interaction and find those customers. We'll have some yard signs that'll come out that you can pick up from band camp or those Thursday night rehearsals in the next couple weeks. Those are a great way to kind of announce, hey, Circus is back in town. Again, we do not see tons and tons of sales from signs, so do not be mistaken and think, oh, I put a sign in my yard. You know, you have to go out and have those conversations. And again, I know it's a little weird to talk about mattresses with people, but if you go out and talk about it, you will find those people and they will come support the sale. We also have a couple different things through social media. The QR code that's now right above that student line, that will take you to a Facebook event page. I'll quickly have you guys scan that QR code again. One of the things we'll do as we get ramped up is right now we just want to flood that event page with as many different people as we can. Whether you're buying a mattress, whether you're coming to the sale or not, social media is obviously a great way to just get some information out. What we're going to do is over the next few weeks, for every 100 RSVPs we have into that event page, we'll raffle off one of our cooling pillows to anybody who's on that event page. So we'll do some weekly contests. There'll be plenty of content you guys can share. One of the things that I've had success with that I promote, would like you guys to do since you have local connections, is every year I get into some of the community Facebook pages and I'll post some information about the event. And every year I'll comment, comment yes please if you'd like some more information. And I'll get 5 or 6 people who comment on that post. I live in Saco, Maine. I don't know anybody in Londonderry. And so my point with that is if I can find 5 or 6 people from just throwing out a couple Facebook posts and just putting it out there, imagine what happens when you guys go out and actually have conversations with people you're connected to. If I can find 5 or 6, you can all absolutely go find that one person we need. And again, if with 180 families, if everybody were to find at least one customer, this is a $40,000 to $50,000 day for this program, which makes a huge dent in a lot of the costs that you guys have to deal with throughout the year. One of the other things we've added this year, again, parents and parent participation is ultimately what drives the success of this event. Every sale, every school, every community we work with, it's the same 75 to 80% of sales that come from families. And so this year we've added a new bonus specifically designed for you as parents. And the way this will work is if you have each referral, so if you're Kyle and you've got the full-size mattress sold, your neighbor comes in, grandma comes in, that's 3 referrals. For each of those referrals, your name goes into a hat. And if we have at least 30 families out of the 180 that are in this program participate, we're going to raffle off 2 $250 bonuses, which you can then apply towards your student's account. If you'd rather have that for groceries and whatnot personally, we can cut a check to you personally. But this is kind of an incentive from us to you. A lot of fundraisers don't incentivize parents about what the students can earn, what the students can raise. This is something we're offering to you guys because we recognize how important your involvement is with this overall event. And if you look back to prior years with this fundraiser, you guys have done that several different times. 2019, we had 37 families involved. That led to 74 beds being sold and $17,000 being raised. Year before that, we had 48 families. Year before that, 57. So if we can just uptick what we've done over the last few years, not only will that be a bigger check to the program, more money into your students' accounts, but then there'll be that larger incentive that you guys can use to offset even more of the cost of this upcoming trip. So again, if you're Kyle and you earned $375 towards your trip through sales, and then you're the winner for this, you've now got close to half your trip paid for with this one fundraiser. And again, 30% of the program is still, or 30 families, is still less than 20%. I use this analogy a lot where if 20% of the band knew the show for the first halftime performance, it's probably not going to look all that good. And the reason I say that is this is a huge opportunity where even with a small chunk of the program, you guys can make a huge, huge dent in the overall budget, not only for the program as a whole, but for you guys individually throughout the next couple of months as you get to pay for some of the trips. Yes?
So if you know somebody who's interested in a mattress, they go try it out at whatever Jordan's, and they know that this event's coming up, but they're not in town, they live across the country. Do you guys have an online page if they can?
So it's just the one-day sales, so there's no place for them to kind of shop elsewhere. If someone can't make the event, easiest thing is have them email us, and they can either kind of tell us what they're looking for, come into a separate sale, but typically we want to try and get someone to purchase that day. That's how we're able to keep our costs low, is we don't have, alternative retail places to sell this stuff. It's just here at the schools. So if someone is out of town that week, easiest thing is just have them reach out. Mattress Firm is probably the best place to go, where they carry a lot of the same models that we have. But again, with 40 different beds on display, the best thing.
Well, they already know what they want, and they're just like, here's my credit card type thing.
Typically, we want someone to come in and try it out just to make sure it's the right fit. Just because at that point, it's really not something you can just click a button online and that's the mattress for you. We want to have them in the showroom they can actually try out. But if they can't make it and they kind of know what they're looking for, send over what they have, and if we don't have it, I can tell them something that's comparable. But I would say try to get them to one of the sales where they can physically come into the showroom and kind of go through the process from there. Now, this year's goal is simple. We know that you guys are a killer group. You guys have raised over $125,000. You've averaged over 65 mattresses sold with each of the events over the last couple of years. My goal for you guys this year is to sell at least 50 beds, which guarantees you raise at least $10,000 to $12,000. 50 beds can be done with 30 to 40 families in this program. That is still a very small chunk of the program participating with a really big upside. So what we need from you guys is really simple. Again, if you don't need a mattress, do not think you can't help. What we need from you guys is to participate, to follow the prompts. There'll be a bunch of information that comes out from FOM, through Serge, through Cut Time that kind of gives you some extra insight and event or info about the event to share. We just need you to communicate this. If we make this event loud enough, if you make sure that everybody you communicate talks about this or knows about the event, you will absolutely find those people. The only way this doesn't work is if people don't hear about it. And if you guys do your part, we know they're going to hear about it. So before I open up for questions, I always like to see who's been paying attention. I have a quick little quiz for you. And I want big, resounding group answers here. Some energy. I know it's a hot band room, but we'll get you out of here in a few. But question number one. Is this fundraiser about you buying something that you don't really need?
No.
No. This is about finding those people who ultimately are going to purchase one anyways. And again, the people who come into this event, when they walk through the doors, they're going to purchase a mattress. They're not here for anything other than that, and they want to support your program. So unless we just don't have what they're looking for, where we have all different styles, all different price points, that doesn't typically happen. If we can get 100 people to show up at this event, we're going to sell 75, 80 beds, and you guys are going to raise the type of money you did before COVID. Big, big money. Question two, are these beds used or knockoff or anything like that? No, that would be disgusting. These are brand names, brand new. These are all brands like Purple, Helix. All the brand lists we carry on the floor right now are on your flyers there. So these are the exact same styles, exact same technologies. Everything is made to order with full factory warranties. So again, the only difference from shopping with us and shopping at your local store is the location where you made that purchase. That is really it. Question three, are there delivery options or financing plans available? Yes, so you are again not taking the bed home with you that day. Every now and again, especially when this is our first sale of the year, we may have a couple closeout overstock models, but the majority of the beds are going to be made to order, and then about 3 to 4 weeks after the sale, they'll either be shipped out to you, or our delivery team will come out and do all the setup, all that stuff for you from there. And yes, we do have removal. This is probably one of the biggest questions from a logistics standpoint you will get asked is, can they take away my old one? If we come out for delivery, we do have the option to remove it. As nice as your FedEx and UPS guy is, he's probably not going to take your old mattress away for you in the truck when he drops off your new one. So all the same services, all those same payment plans you'd find at the stores, we have available for you at the sale as well. And question four, and this is the most important one. What is your one job to make sure that we have an awesome sale on September 12th? Looking for a really specific answer. I want you all to find at least one what? Customer or referral. Personal referral is a mattress sold on behalf of your student. So if you have 5 mattresses sold, that's 5 referrals. And for every one of those referrals, your name goes into a hat towards that raffle drawing. So again, this is huge money that you guys can raise. I was a band kid growing up. I vividly remember band camp growing up and how hard it was for them. And I know what goes into these programs. I know the amount of work that goes behind the scenes. And I also remember how fun these trips were. And so for me, as much as I'm not performing or playing instruments much anymore, I really do enjoy the experience I get where I get to work with programs like yours. I get to kind of relive this, those shoes of the students. And I remember, I'm going to be 35 this November, and I can tell you every detail of my Carnegie Hall trip my sophomore year. I can tell you every detail of going to Philadelphia my freshman year. So especially for you incoming parents, this really is a cool thing that your kids get to do with these trips, with these performances, just within the culture that you have. And so the more effort you guys put into this, the better the sale's going to go. And you guys have proven that if we can get to that participation level, that we had 40, 50 families involved, this is a $15,000 to $20,000 day all day long. Okay? So, questions. What questions do you guys have? Yes?
Do you have a price list?
So I don't have like a price list catalog. Again, we have everything from $200, $300 low end sort of kids beds all the way up to $8,000 or so. We basically right now probably I'd say the beds jump about $100, $200 between beds. So we're gonna have every style, every price point there. But it's not like we have a price that's okay, the Helix Midnight Lux sells for this. You've got to come into the showroom from there. We also revolve some of the models throughout the year based on what vendors are selling and stuff like that. So there's not really a consistent catalog you can look at. You can come into the sales and test everything out from there. But if someone has information or looking for specific beds, do you have this, anything like that, they can email us. My email's on all the flyers. FOM and Serge has all my info as well. But we're going to carry most of the same styles, budgets, price points you'd find at the stores. What else? Yes?
How far will you ship?
So shipping is nationwide. So if the bed is being shipped direct to you, FedEx, UPS, we can ship those pretty much anywhere in the 48 domestic U.S. states. Delivery-wise, it's going to be about an hour and a half, 2 hours from here. But if someone's a little bit further out, we can still probably get it to them. Just might be a little bit of an extended delivery fee. Majority of who you're going to find within, this New Hampshire area. Our team will service pretty much all of Maine and New Hampshire. So there's not a lot of limitations there. Maine, yeah, so we do about half our sales in Maine. So our warehouse is in Westbrook, so wherever you're in Maine, we can probably get to. Where in Maine are you? That's about it. Yeah, that'd be fine, yeah. So yeah, delivery-wise, we can get pretty much anywhere in Maine, New Hampshire. If we're shipping it direct, pretty much anywhere across the country.
Do they sell sheets and pillows?
Yes, we do have the accessories, so sheets, protectors, pillows. We've got the adjustable bases. We have platform frames. We don't have like the headboard, footboard, like furniture type of frames, but any sort of like foundation, box spring, we have those items as well.
Do those adjustables fit inside a bed frame?
Yes. So they have two different options. A lot of times those feet are inset. So if you have like a headboard, sleigh bed style, that just drops into that existing frame. If you've got the type of bed where the drawers are underneath, or you just have a bunch of slats, no box spring, that just goes without the legs on it. So all of the adjustables are compatible with your existing bed frame. You don't have to get rid of like your bedroom furniture or anything. Just swap that out with your existing box spring from there. And all of the beds that are on display are compatible with adjustable bases. Most of the modern day beds are.
Do the kids get credits for stuff like that?
Yeah, so your main payouts, what I shared up there, like the 175, that's going to be your mattresses and adjustable bases. Your pillows and sheets, depending on kind of which model, are $10 to $15 a piece. So that's one of the biggest things I try to deter people from is, okay, I don't need a mattress, but I'll come buy a pillow. Make sure you bring someone who also needs a mattress, because that's what's going to make the bigger payouts. Every purchase made throughout the day credits the program, credits your student if your name's attached to it, but your mattress and adjustable will have those prime payouts on them. Anything else? Awesome. Well, again, we love working with you guys. Whenever we work with other programs, and we mentioned we work with Londonderry, people's faces light up. You guys are absolutely revered as one of the more premier programs in the state. We're really excited for our 10th annual event. We're excited to work to get with you guys back to that $15,000, $20,000 day that you guys are known for. But again, what we need from you guys is just be excited, make it loud, do the things we ask you to do over the next couple weeks, and I promise you guys are going to have an awesome day. Okay? So there's plenty of pizza left, there's some waters. The blue flyers here are primarily based around the Chicago trip, so if you want to grab some of these, all the flyers have the same info, they'll do the same credit to the students, but if your student's not going on the trip or they're in chorus, orchestra, you can grab a green one, that's kind of more of a general music. And then if you know military members, first responders, faculty and staff in the district, we do a little extra special discount for those folks. So the yellow flyers here will be for your hero flyer. So that'll be, again, your faculty members, military, that type of thing. And then we've also got your posters here from there. Yes, indeed. Yep. Awesome. Well, thank you guys very much. If you have other questions, come see us. If you have questions over the next few weeks, feel free to reach out to the program, reach out to us. And thank you guys very much for being here. And we'll see you on September 12th. Thank you.